Aloha! Aloha, Blues fans, and welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, your host, the Hawaii Blues fan. On the show, man, I'm just screwing this shit all up. Okay, let's try this again. Are you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Aloha! And welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the program that is by a fan, for the fans, and about you, the fans. Hey, how are you doing? So, you know what? We don't have any hockey. That's right. We got no hockey. And so I thought I'd do a show. Come on, talk to you guys. I put a post in the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan. If you're not a member of that, please go on Facebook and join. And you'll get the inputs, and I do a lot of my talking on there. I do a lot of my group talk stuff on there. I'm trying to limit my group stuff to that. Thought I'd do an hour show today, talk about a lot. And now I said I'm your host, but what I forgot to mention was we have a co-host. If you see these beautiful pictures on my screen, these beautiful pictures are of Haley Jade York. And I made Haley Jade York the fan of the game for the live special I did on the Ducks game. Well, talking to her family, and if you don't know the story, unfortunately, Haley had a terminal lung disease. She went to the hospital, had a procedure done. It was supposed to be simple, easy, one and done. And sorry, I'm trying to get something fixed here. It was supposed to be simple, easy peasy, and unfortunately it wasn't. And later that night, unfortunately, Haley succumbed to the conditions that she was dealing with. And in doing that show for her, I talked to her family, and they told me that Haley always wanted to be a YouTuber. So I reached out to them today, told them I was going to do this show, and asked them if I could make Haley my co-host for the rest of this season. And they were very happy that I'd be willing to do that. I am more than glad to do that for Haley. So York family, if you get a chance to see this, Haley is a YouTuber, and I am glad I could help. So since the last show, a lot has happened. During the game against the Ducks, the NBA had a player for Utah Jazz test positive for COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. Unfortunately, they took what they felt were the steps necessary. I kind of felt like they might have been drastic steps, but my opinion only. And they canceled their season. Well, okay, understood. Well, that was a big-ass domino because everything else fell with it. This weekend, there were no live sports. None. And currently, every season in the United States is on pause. NASCAR's on pause. MLB's on pause. Jordan, I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. I hope you and your family are happy. And I'd also like you to reach out to Haley's friends to let them know that I'm doing this. And, if their parents will let them watch, I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying to get the word out about her and her disease as much as I can. And I'm very happy to do that for you guys. So where was I? Okay, all the seasons are on pause. The NHL is on pause. Major League Baseball has pushed back their start until May now. NBA is on suspension. A couple of minor leagues have just stopped. The NCAA basketball tournament ended. They're just not going to do it. There's going to be no champion this year. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if they've said something different. I was told NASCAR's on a hold. Who else is on a hold? The PGA Tour has postponed or canceled many events. So I mean, it's pretty impressive what's happened. I had even put a post on mine where I felt like this was somewhat of a knee-jerk reaction, and unfortunately, it got political. And that's something I do want to talk about. And and YOLO and you and your mom and your dad. You, your mom, and your dad, this is so small of a thing that I can do for you. I'm just glad that you guys can reach out. Jackson! My buddy Jackson's up. I'm going to have to try and play your video later, Jackson. I got to figure out if I can figure out how to do it. So if you've never been at the BlueNote Fan Report before, when I do a live, it's very interactive. I have the chat. I can see it. I can talk to you guys. Now, you need to understand one thing. There's about a 30-second delay from when I talk to when you hear it. So some of your things that you post, I might answer to a little bit later. Right? So be aware, I do have the chat up. I have it going. I will be watching it. Come on. Come on. There we go. And then it stopped on me. So very much, this show is very interactive. So let's talk about, let's really get in and talk about the NHL and COVID-19. So what this means to us. So, well, I attempt to sing songs there, Bob. The coronavirus is basically a type of flu. And I have a person who is very in-depth and in touch with the coronavirus or what's going on. He's a healthcare professional. I'm going to see, hold on a second. Hey, Steve, I'm doing a live on YouTube and would love for you to join me to talk about the things that we talked about with this virus. I'm going to read something he wrote, and you got to forgive me, it's kind of long. He says, without getting into the epidemiology of the situation, we use this canceling of large events as a form of social distancing. For every one case that is diagnosed, there are likely multiple others that have gone undiagnosed, especially with the lack of test kits available. A person who is infected can be contagious and completely asymptomatic. This means that a relatively healthy person can be walking around without feeling ill and infecting other people. Canceling large events like major sports have done is a way to limit exposing large groups of people and having a huge epidemic that cannot be responded to effectively because our medical system cannot handle a massive influx of patients. You may see the term flatten the curve being used, which is an epidemiology term. It essentially means to spread out the infection over a longer period of time instead of seeing a huge spike at once. If 15 people need to be on ventilators in an intensive care unit, it's easier to handle than 200 people need the same treatment, as if 200 people need the same treatment. If the coronavirus at the merit becomes limited in the United States, and we don't see a huge influx of cases, canceling the events, forcing them will be a huge part of the reason why. That's what he wrote to me. I sent him a message. I'm hoping he'll find me. Let me do something real quick. I want to send him this link. Share. Oops, wrong thing. Cancel, go back. Sorry, guys. Give me just a moment. So when I do these live shows, there's things I like to do that unfortunately I'm not able to do as easily or as quickly as I want to. So I ask you to bear with me. I do see all the things that you guys are putting up. I greatly appreciate them. I'm giving Steve the link. I'm hoping that Steve Roberts joins us and that we can talk about this some more. So what this means for the NHL season? Well, this is kind of very interesting. The NHL season is on a pause. Most teams have played 71 games. The most games played is 71. There are teams that have played 70, 69, and 68. If the season were to cancel now, you're going to hate what I'm about to say. I absolutely hate it. But if the season were canceled now, the Boston Bruins would be the NHL champs. That sucks. Now, let's say that this is a long-term thing. Hey, Kyle in Alaska, welcome. If this is a long-term thing, and say that they need to cancel the season, I get that. But I don't think that the Bruins should be awarded. I think that the top two teams in the top team in the East and the top team in the West should have some type of playoff. I think the Stanley Cup should be played. Maybe in an empty stadium. I don't know. But I do think that the cup should be the cup should be played. I don't think it should just be awarded. That's my opinion. Now, being a Blues fan, well, Bob, if your wife wants to send me something to talk about this, I'd glad to do it. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to link this software and bring somebody on with me and talk over video. If I did, I would absolutely do that. That's something I got to get into the software with and learn how to do it. I'm sure there's a way. I just haven't gotten there. Where am I at now? I just lost my place. Okay, so where are we at? Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. So let me say hi to the people that have got in here and talked. Tilo, thank you. Mike Dante, my brother, or as some people would say, my boyfriend. YOLO bro, this is Jordan. I hope I said that right. She is Haley's sister, my co-host, as you can see here. Robert Morton or Bob Morton and his boys. Jackson's here. My hockey nephews. Jeremy's here. Robert's here. I said that. Jeremy. Kyle from Alaska's here. And okay. And I welcome all of you who are in the chat room. Now, I got to say something. I got to see if I can find this. So when I first came on today, I seen a post, and it was really interesting, and I want to bring this up. So you guys got to bear with me while I'm trying to find this. And I mean, it was really interesting. It was a way to do the playoffs. And it put it into a 3-tiered system. And every team made the playoffs. Let's see if I can find this. Give me a moment. I really want to find this and see if I can post it. Here we go. There's the group. The group was Hockey Memes and Jokes. And see if I can find this post. It popped up on me before, and I gotta find. Oh man, I hope it'll come up again. I mean, it was real. It was the best thing that I had seen for the playoffs. Basically, it put it in the 3 tiers. It had the lower teams playing each other. Then they would play the middle teams, and then the middle teams would go in and play the top teams, the top 8 teams, I think. And then play out that way. I kind of liked it. I thought, oh, here it is. Let's see if I can get this copied here real quick. Options. Okay. So if you guys bear with me a second, you're going to get a blank screen, and then I'm going to put this up. So just bear with me. Okay, so what this does is this has round one, and it says, and I'm having a little trouble reading, the bottom 14 teams in the league standings play to reduce from 31 to 24, right? This is the league quarterfinal, and it's a best-of-7 series, right? So Detroit would play Florida, Ottawa would play the Panthers, the Sharks would play Vancouver, LA would play the Wild, the Ducks would play Arizona, New Jersey would play Chicago, Buffalo would play Montreal, and then those winners would move into round two. This is a best-of-3 series. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is round one is a single elimination. It's one game. I looked at this wrong. So round one is single elimination. That's it. Single elimination. So those teams would go into round two, which is the best of 3. The bottom 16 teams play the remaining 10, and you'll reduce it down to 16. Okay? So from there, those winners will move in to 1 to 8. And they would play a best of 5, reducing it down to the league quarterfinals, which would be a best of 7. That would reduce that down to the league semifinal, best of 7, and then the Stanley Cup finals. I want to know what you guys think of this. I'm going to put you back to me now. So now that you guys have got a chance to see that, Tilo saying, breaking news from the Blues. I haven't seen anything yet. And if you guys are hearing something, let me know, because me being out here in Hawaii, I can't. Were you guys able to hear me what I was saying there? Hopefully you guys did. Can someone let me know if you're hearing me and if you heard what I talked about with that that playoff format? Anybody here? Is anybody out there, out there, out there? You know, that's a good point, Mike, and I understand that. The chances of that happening are really low. Really low. I mean, there is, I'd say this. I'd say there's a better chance that a team from the middle, the second round, the second group, would get in. Teams like the Oilers, Dallas, the Maple Leafs, the Rangers, the Hurricanes, the Jets. The Jets have a hot goalie. The Islanders. Those teams, the teams in that round two, those are the teams that I think would have a much better chance of making it. Right? I really do. Now, the one thing that I think should happen, and Mike, you bring up a really good point, because Detroit had already been eliminated from the playoffs, their game shouldn't be single elimination, but they should start it at a -1, and it has to be a best of 3. So Florida only has to beat Detroit once, but Detroit would have to beat Florida twice. I think that's the only stipulation that I would put there. Oh, the Blue Note Sports Bar in North County is a wonderful place. You're right. I agree. Nashville or Jersey could go on a run. Um, eh, nah, maybe. But I couldn't see him getting out around 3. I could see him getting around 3. I couldn't see him going much farther than that. Nashville's got a good goalie, but I don't think they can't roll 4 lines. And you've got to be able to roll 4 lines. Jersey's got a weak first round opponent, but from there I'm not sure. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I said earlier, Tilo, was that the Blues and the Bruins play for the Cup because they're the top in the East and the top in the West. That's kind of where I would go with that. Not completely sure, but that's where what I would look at. Man, I would hope to get more people online. Hey, man, guys, share this. Call your friends. Get them online. I'd like to have more people watching me. It'd be fun. Where are we at? Kind of lost here for a second. Let me look at something real quick. Because they're the top in the East and the top in the West. That's kind of... Okay. Let me get back here. Okay. So, back to where I was. Bring back up my main screen. There we go. Okay. So, that's kind of what my thought process is. Hey, don't forget to like this page, guys. And share it with your friends. Like it and share it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Blue Note Fan Report, subscribe to the Blue Note Fan Report. No, I agree. We should not be awarding the Stanley Cup by default. Not at all. So that's kind of where I mean, that's one of the things being thrown around. There's other things that I've heard. For me, you know, I kind of say it's sit and wait. Right now, the amount of cases in the U.S. is pretty low. You know, I've been thinking about that a lot, you know, and I'm kind of, okay, so do you play that at home or away? You play that in St. Louis or you play that, where do you play it? You play it neutral? I mean, to me, you know, if you're going to play a game like that and there's going to be fans in the stands, that's important. And where you play it is important. To me, the way I look at it, right now, you go by winning percentage. And if you go by winning percentage, the Blues have a better winning percentage or points percentage than the Avalanche have. So I wouldn't change that. And you know what? Okay, you know, I don't want to get too much into the virus thing. I'm going to let everybody. You know, I disagree with that, Mike. I don't think it should be in Colorado, right? The last game of the season was in Colorado, and that's fine and dandy. But that last game, there's nothing right now that proves that last game would be for the division in the conference. Nothing. It could be. I mean, a lot of things got to fall into place. But the way the standings stand, I'm with it. I'm okay with it. I really am. The Blues have been top of the division the whole year. Yeah, I would say, you know, and that's the thing. I don't think it's going to last that long. I really don't. I'm guessing by the beginning of April, they're going to start playing again, right? And, you know, I've heard some people say, well, what about the off season? You know, if the off season gets shortened, it gets shortened, right? And this is, so I'm going to bring this up. 2004. Who got shortchanged in 2004? Right? You know who got shortchanged in 2004? The fans. The fans got shortchanged in 2004. We didn't get a season. And not only didn't we get a season, Blues fans got shortchanged because we had an owner that was so overextended that even if they played that season, they still couldn't afford what they were doing. That they had to sell all the players, and we ended up paying for it for years. Years. So when it comes to this, if the players lose the offseason, big freaking deal. Right? Big freaking deal. You know, we lost an entire season. No. Now, I'm sorry. You know, it goes as long as it needs to go, and you play the season out. I really do believe that. You've got a lot played out, so it's not like you've only played a month and then go, okay, let's talk about playoffs. No, we were in the playoff run, so doing that there is not a bad thing. All right? Okay, so now that I've talked about that, there's a couple things I want to talk about. There was a video on Twitter. I think the Blues may have released it too with Vladimir Tarasenko telling everyone to stay safe. I don't think I can show it, but I may be able to play it. Hold on a second. You may be able to hear it, and you got to give me a second to see if I can find it. Hey, Bob, did you say I can sing? Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I bet you love that. Okay, so my Twitter has decided not to work. Let me try something else. Okay, someone's messaging me. Let's see who is. Oh, Roland, something I can't play right now. Oh, there is something. I had another thought of something I might do, and I'll tell you in a second here. Let's see. Oh, no. What happened? That's not what I wanted. Okay. Oh, here we go. First thing that pops up. Congratulations to Tyler and Molly Bozak. They had a baby boy arrive early this morning. Don't know what his name is. They don't say. But, you know, congratulations. Now let me see if I can find Tara. Okay. And no, it's not here. So he had done, and I don't see it now. I wish I could. Maybe it's on the Blues. Let me check one more thing, guys. Now, this is when I wish I had a co-host, because then it wouldn't be so bad me standing here. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Vladdy. Just want to let all our fans know we're thinking of you, and hopefully you and your family are healthy and safe. Can't wait to see you all again in the Pride Center soon. Hey guys, this is Vladdy. Just want to let all our fans know we are thinking
You guys let me know if you could hear that. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Hey Kyle, thank you, buddy. Maybe we'll do a little Mighty Shin later. You ain't seen nothing like the Mighty Shin. Oh boy. So Vladdy put that post out, and I seen another post from David Perron, if I remember correctly. David Perron has donated a jersey to an auction. Someone really kind of slammed on Perron. Let me see if I can find this post. It might be a little hard for me to find it. It popped up in my messages. David Perron had basically said that he was going to donate a jersey. Oh, hold on. I'm going to play. I'm hoping you guys can hear this. This is the full statement from Mr. Zimmerman. He's the president and CEO of the Blues. I
can assure you that the St. Louis Blues, many of you are aware, Commissioner Gary Bettman announced today that the National Hockey League has paused our season in light of the ongoing developments resulting from the coronavirus. I can assure you that the St. Louis Blues and the NHL, experts and local authorities, to ensure that anyone who joins us for events or games at Enterprise Center and Stiefel Theater are in a safe and healthy environment. We will continue to monitor all the appropriate medical advice and will encourage everyone affiliated with our organization and all of St. Louis to take all reasonable and appropriate precautions. Our goal is to resume play and host other events as soon as it is appropriate. We expect to complete the season and defend the Stanley Cup. We're in constant communication with health experts, the City of St. Louis, and the NHL, and we will update you on further developments. Until then, we thank you for your patience and your support. Stay healthy and safe, and we look forward to seeing you back in an event here very soon.
Okay, so that was Mr. Zimmerman. He is the president and CEO. That was the statement he issued when after the Blues or the season was postponed or paused by the Blues. Sorry about the echoes. Best I could do. I'm trying to find David Perron. Here we go, DP57. Okay, so here's his thing. It says, during this challenging time, I'm giving back by donating a signed jersey at athletesrelief.org. You can donate at the link below for a chance to win, and all proceeds go directly to the CDP's COVID-19 response fund. Now, there was a response to him that I thought was actually kind of good, and this was the response. It was not, I'm not going to say who it was from, but the response was, you're making $4.75 million this season. One jersey? What about all those people out of work at the Enterprise Center? You and your St. Louis Blues teammates and ownership should do something more than ask working class people to donate to people suffering. His reply to that, and I'm surprised he replied, he says, we are looking into helping. Boys want to do their part. And that was, I think he got a response to that. The person that originally posted said, thank you, the city bleeds blue for you all. I believe in our group. Thank you, be safe, and we can't wait to see you boys back in the know. So that was what David Perron had posted on Twitter earlier. Sometimes, we've got to be careful because my boy Mike Dante, absolutely loves David Perron. And, he's had a good year. But, there's some players like that. Back in the day, some of the goons I didn't like. I mean, some people really like the fighting in hockey. I'm okay with it. I understand it. But there's other things that, when you go to an arena and you watch Brett Hull play hockey the way that man played hockey, you just knew. You just knew that the game had changed. It was absolutely incredible. Oh, man, I think I lost everybody. What did I do? Did I scare you guys all away? Sorry to do that. I hope you guys will all come back. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? What's funny, I'm looking here, all these people who like my post about this show, but none of them joined the show. Click on the damn link, you jackasses. Okay, so where are we at? I'm back with you. Let's see. So, a little bit about almost 40 minutes in. I got 20 minutes left. So I'm going to open the show up to you guys. I think Haley would like it. Oh, I got to clear something up. Got to clear something up. On the show for Haley, I made a mistake and said that she was a huge fan of Ryan O'Reilly. And I meant that she's a huge fan of Ryan Reeves. That poster there, down in the corner, this one here. Oops. I think you guys are okay. You're still seeing me. See if I can do this here real quick. So this poster right here that I'm bringing up says Haley's ready to drop the mitts for a stick from Reeves. She was a huge Reeves fan, and she was even she had met him, and he was informed of her untimely passing, and it sent the family his condolences. So I really got to just say thank you to Mr. Reeves for doing that. I know you've been a really big supporter of kids in our community. And I just really thank you for that. So Mike says, as a diehard David Perron fan, I agree with the person who knocked him. DT did an amazing gesture for me during the Winter Classic. He should have, and I would expect he did more. Well, that's just the way it goes. You hope that they do more. You hope for that, but you get what you can. I talked about during the last game, who my MVP of the season was, and I'm going to stick with that. My MVP of this season is none other than Vladimir Tereshchenko. And a lot of people are going, what the hell are you talking about? Well, Vladimir Tereshchenko's injury actually set this team apart. It made them a team. It's made Perron a better goal scorer. It's made O'Reilly a better passer. It's really helped some of the young guys step up. The power play has been better. The penalty kill has been better. There's a video. Oh man, I know I'm saying your name wrong. You're gonna have to send me a voice thing and tell me how to say your name. It's Jordan, right? Jordan or Jordan? I hope I'm saying it right. You had that video on your dad's. I seen that video on your dad's page, and he, when Reeves come by and hits the glass floor, you could just see her light up, and he lit up. That was pretty cool. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's something too. It depends. If it's only a week, no big deal. If it's a week, put it on pause. They can come back, maybe give them a day or two training, practice and let them come back. If it's 2 to 3 weeks or a month, they're going to need some type of training camp. They're going to need a week of practice or something. Otherwise, these guys are going to get hurt. And no one wants to see that. Don't want to see that at all. So where are we at? Okay. I talked about that. Awards for this team, I think most improved, I would give to Zach Sanford. Okay. No, it's like Jordan. Okay, Jordan's fine. I think I got it now. Just wanted to make sure. I wanted to get it right there. I'm very particular that I try and pronounce because I'm so bad at it. So here we go. So best defenseman, Parayko, by far. Not taking anything away from Pietrangelo. He has had an amazing season, but Parayko has stepped up. He's younger, and he'll be here next year, and there's a chance that the captain won't. MVP, Tarasenko. Best player, I would have to go with Perron. Most improved, I said Sanford, but I'd also have to look at Shen. Braden Shen has had a much better season. Who took a step back? Best coach? I have to think about that one for a minute. Yeah, I see that smile there, Bob. For me, I think both O'Reilly and Bennington have taken steps backwards. Now, Bennington is still playing pretty good, but he's not the rookie of the year that we saw. He has had somewhat of a sophomore slump, but it hasn't been that bad. Best coach, I think I might have to give that to the Otter. He's done a great job. Special teams have been so much better this year. I don't know how much that's him and how much that is not having Tarasenko around. Best quotes are Bennington. Someone asked him, Sundqvist a slight step back, maybe a little bit of a step. I think Sundqvist stayed more even than taking a step back. Somebody asked Bennington what it was like, being at what was the difference between being at the All-Star game, and his quote was the paychecks. All right. I like that. I thought that was pretty good. That was a classic Bennington quote. His thing like that. If you want to go MVP of the league, to me it's either going to be McDavid or Drysdale. I mean, they're both having spectacular years. They're both over 100 points. Best defenseman, I'm not really sure. I mean, I know there's some guys out there. I think Pietrangelo should maybe be in there. I love that about your parents there, Jordan. I think that's neat, the way Haley's name's spelled and yours is spelled. It's really neat. Well, I mean, Mike, you're right, and that his defense has gotten better, and that's why I think he wins the Selke again. I think he's got the Selke locked down. I think he might have another shot at the Lady Byng. I really would like to see him get that one. I'd also like to see him have a shot at the Hart Trophy. To be honest with you, he's played that well. Kind of running out of things to talk about. So for those of you that are here, I mean, there's only a few people. If you got something to chat with, please help me out. I kind of spilt everything that I wanted to talk about, and I knew the coronavirus was going to take the large portion of it. Yeah, I think it's interesting too, and I'm really glad that the York family is following me. There is no way, I mean, Bob, I get what you're saying, but there's no way I would ever see Marchand. Marchand shouldn't be up for any award, right? You cannot reward his dirty play. And if the NHL goes and does that, they would change the league exponentially, because every player is going to see that and go, screw it, I'm going to play dirty too because I'll get rewarded for it. He goes after knees, left, right, and center. I mean, he's just a dirty player. I can't stand him. I mean, there's a couple of different videos that on YouTube that show the kind of things that he does, and it's just it's enough for me. Pasternak, now I could see Pasternak. I don't have a problem with that. He's had a good season. I'm okay with that, but there's no way I could let Marchand get any award other than douchebag of the year. You know, that's the award he should get. Well, I'm winding down. I was going to do an hour, but I'm down to 6 people. If that's where I'm going to stay at, I'm probably going to have to stop it because I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. Like I said, you guys got a few more minutes to put something up. Mike Dante, the Blues are better overall team than Boston still. The Blues are known for shutting down top players head-to-head. Blues roll 4-line and have a heavy D. You know, and that's absolutely true, Mike. You and me have had some discussions about this offline. One of the things, and by the way, for all you guys, get on there and like, especially if you're chatting, like these videos, man. That helps. When I get 200 views, and with the lives, I get close to that, and only get 1 or 2 likes, it kind of hurts me. Boston is better than they were last year, but I don't think their goaltender situation's better. I don't think ours is extremely better either. However, the one thing that I see from last year that would still stick is the Blues are a heavy enough team, and that if they kept pounding the Bruins, and it got to 6 or 7 games, it wouldn't take much for the Bruins to if the Blues would have scored first in Game 6, that would have been the end of the Bruins. It wouldn't have gone to Game 7. The only thing that took that to Game 7 was the Bruins scoring first. So, I mean, that's my opinion on that. All right? That's my opinion on that. Let me check something out here real quick. Yes, Bob, I know you're a Blues fan. Yes, I know you're a Blues fan. You know what, guys? I got something special for you. You won't get to see this, but you'll get to hear it. Here we go. went down in the doghouse. And the cold line with yeah. Then Blueberry will die to me. And Petro will like me. This is the dawning of the age of every chance of rainbow, O'Reilly's parachute go. No more clothes on gold, and ready to go. Okay, I think that's enough. Did you not enjoy that? I hope not. Well, Bob said I had to sing, so I sang. That is one of the videos that I have on YouTube. It is called the that is called The Age of Bennington, and the other one I have out there is The Mighty Shin. Yeah, they're not letting me on The Masked Singer. Trust me. Guys, get on there and check out the videos. You know, help me get the views up. Get them on. Share them to your friends. Share them to your Facebook pages. Share this page. Share the BlueNote Fan Report. It's something I love doing. And for me, I mean, I know I get told this all the time. Don't worry about the views. But, however, I'm one of them people that feedback is important. And when I do a show and I have 20 views or 30 views, it means that my last shows were so bad that you didn't want to watch the next one. So, you know, I hope they're not that bad. And I know I'm trying not to make them bad, trying to have fun. Yeah, sorry about the echo. I tried to lower it so it wouldn't echo. Not much I can do about that. I do apologize. Well, Mike, it's all going to depend on how long it lasts, and that's what's important. I'm going to kind of go ahead and end this here. I want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank you all for chatting. Please share these. Please get on and like them on Facebook. My name is Guy. I'm the Hawaii Blues Fan. This is the program that is by a fan, for a fan, and most definitely about you, the fan. I want to thank you. I want to thank my co-host Haley and her family for allowing me to put her up. Haley will be joining me in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to tell her family that they got more pictures of her, pictures that they would like to see me put up of her. I will let me know, and I'll make sure that those pictures are up. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues Fan, saying, I'm bleeding blue with you, and I will see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report.